All right, guys, this is my workout from this morning. I'm on my lunch break here. Hey, we've had 2 days of school cancellations, ice storm. I don't know if it was bad enough. I mean, there were people slipping and falling, and yeah. But anyways, it kind of was like going to be the end of the day one day, so they canceled school, and then it was like just the very beginning of the day yesterday, so they ended up canceling school because it wasn't going to get melted off in time for them to get out with like a 2-hour delay. So it was a weird couple of days, but finally got the house to myself over lunch, and gonna do a review of the workout this morning, 17.4. So this is the CrossFit Open 2017, the fourth workout. It's a 13-minute AMRAP, so as many reps as you can get in 13 minutes. And I'll just tell you, I didn't get even all the way through like the first round, and you'll see why. So this first thing here that I'm doing is 55 reps of deadlifts, 225 pounds. I don't know, there's not too much to say with that. You got to have the collars on. You got to stand it up, get your shoulders and head behind the bar, hips locked out, knees locked out. So anyways, that's the deadlift. You'll see me like opening my mouth there. I'm trying to like remind myself, hey, you got to breathe on these things. Let's see here. The next thing was 55 wall ball shots, 20-pound ball, 10-foot target. You'll see on those, the crease of your hip is supposed to go below the top of your knee, and the ball's got to touch the 10-foot spot or above. I don't think there was any stipulations that you had to catch the ball or anything like that on this workout. I didn't read this one really carefully, so I can't say that 100%. And then it was a 55-calorie row. You got to see that I got the rower set up there, so I'll be back in after doing the wall balls. I do not move the camera on this, so I will disappear, but you'll have Blake entertaining you there with, oh shoot, I can't remember what that one, that was 20.1 that he's doing, 10 rounds, 8 round overhead, 10 bar facing burpees, 95 pounds, and there's a 2-foot takeoff on that. So I go out and do the wall balls. I'll come back in and do the 55-calorie row, and then it's 55 handstand push-ups, and those are allowed to be kipping. They had some weird stipulations on these, like you had to like tape a box off on the floor that was like 36 inches wide and 24 inches out from the wall, and you had to keep the palms of your hands inside the box, which I don't know what that means. And then you had to put a tape line on the wall. You had to like stand tall against the wall with your arm outstretched, and then it was like wherever your finger came to, you measured down 3 inches, and that's where your tape line was, and your foot had to go below that and above that. And I don't know. I just did them with the new standard, the newest standard, which is that where you can see that tape line over there, whichever way it is on the video, against the wall. It's 10 inches out from the wall, and it's 30 inches long, and your hands just have to be touching that. And then you have to start at the top of the rep with your hips extended, your head between your arms, you know, like that hole through the head, elbows locked out, hips and knees extended, so, you know, a nice straight line with your body. So those are the standards and the reps, and if you get all the way through your 55 handstand push-ups, you just go back to the deadlifts. So I will tell you, we did those lunges the other day. It was 50-pound dumbbells front rack, so it was 100-pound lunges, and I hadn't done lunges in a while, and so my legs are still really sore. I was gonna say my butt specifically. So anyways, yeah, those lunges really tore me up, and yeah, anyways, and that obviously that's going to affect your deadlift. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect my squats very much because I use a lot of quad just from my positioning with those. So yeah, just mostly the deadlift there. I felt like I was really slow. So you just saw me get off that deadlift. Let's see here. I was going to tell you kind of how my splits went. The deadlift, that took me 3 minutes and 58 seconds. I was planning on that taking me, I didn't write down what my splits were supposed to be on kind of what I was hoping for on that, but I was planning on that taking, so that took about 4 minutes. I think I was planning on it taking about 3.5 minutes, and then my wall balls took 5 minutes, or not quite 5 minutes with the transitions. I couldn't tell you how long it actually took me to get up there and get started, and then how long I sat there afterwards. I think I hustled right back down, but there's some seconds there. But anyways, about 5 minutes on the wall balls, and I think I'd planned on that taking me 4 minutes. What I'm getting at is I had about a minute and a half difference there on what I had planned to do and what I actually got done. And point being, I was planning on at the end of this workout trying to have about 2.5 minutes to do some handstand push-ups, and I thought if I had 2.5 minutes I could maybe get 25 of them done. And that was with the idea that on the rower I was going to do those 55 calories in 3 minutes. So not quite that 20 calorie per minute pace. And I felt like I could probably recover a little bit there. So like if the wall balls got me really out of breath, then I could kind of not be going my fastest on that rower, and I'd be able to kind of catch my breath as I went through those 3 minutes. Eventually I'd kind of catch up and be breathing a little bit more normally, and be able to get to the handstand push-ups and kind of go right to them with 2.5 minutes. I felt pretty good coming off the deadlift, other than, like I said, my legs. As far as like my cardio and breathing, that felt pretty good. Oh my gosh. I will tell you though, this thing, it did a major glitch. So I pulled up my little graph afterwards, and it was like, it didn't register that I was hardly doing anything for the first 3 minutes or so, and then it kind of jumped up to a normal range, and then like all of a sudden there's like this straight line that just shoots straight up, and it went up to a max of 202 beats per minute, which is not what it was. So yeah, I don't know. And then it told me that I averaged like 130 beats per minute or something like that over the workout, and I'm like, okay, this thing, that gave me no real data on this workout. So I don't know. I felt like I pushed pretty hard, but this was definitely one where I feel like if my muscles would have been a little better recovered, I probably could have pushed that heart rate a little higher. But I mean, it is what it is as you kind of go through the week. If it was competition, like here in a couple weeks when we're actually doing the open and I want to get my best score to see where I actually stack up with everybody, I'll definitely be planning that recovery a little bit better. I'll be planning to not be fatigued. And it's 3 weeks, and so that cycle of maybe only having that day that you do the open workout, and maybe a day or two after to kind of do some harder workouts, and then you're kind of doing some kind of just maintaining type stuff, some easy stuff that you know is not going to get you sore. So it's 3 weeks where you're probably going to be getting in worse shape, but it's all for the good. I heard, man, I wish I could give them credit, whoever it was. It was somebody's podcast or somebody's video on YouTube the other day where they said the open is the best wellness check, health check that you're going to get, and it's the cheapest for the money as well. So you're getting the absolute best feedback as far as how healthy are you compared with a population that's probably exercising. So kind of how good are you doing with your diet, with your sleep, with your stress levels, with the amount of effort that you're putting in on your exercise, and probably 1,000 other things And then genetically, what's going on inside you. So all that stuff is stacking up, and you're able to see in the open, what can I actually do compared with these other people for $20. Man, it's a really, really good deal when you think about it. And then you start stacking that year after year. It's really, really good data, especially as you think about, you go from, if you're doing this your whole life, you go from like that teenage division, and you're kind of, as you age, you're supposed to, putting on more muscle and getting stronger and faster, and then you kind of are going to hit your peak and you start to decline. What's that decline look like versus other people? Is that a really big decline, or are you really holding pretty steady as you kind of go through that aging process? So really great information, but like I said, there's a trade-off there for a few weeks where you're going to be probably losing a little bit of conditioning and not getting the greatest workouts in. So like I said, this is kind of a recovery pace on the rower. My quads were really burning after those wall balls. My posterior chain is what they call it, where you're talking about like your hamstrings and your glutes and your back, was fatigued from the deadlifts, and so there's not a lot of room to hide in this row. I was still able to get off in 3 minutes and 4 seconds, I think is what it ends up being on this, which for that kind of fatigue on your legs, I thought that was pretty good. And I did, as I got through it, my breathing did calm down just a little bit. I was still pretty fatigued, and you'll see when I do finally get off and get over to the handstand push-ups, I was, I took a couple of breaths, which I shouldn't have. So I think that transition was 20 seconds, and it left me with 38 seconds here at the end of this workout to get as many handstand push-ups as I can get. And in this workout, where that is a limiter for a lot of people, can you get one? Man, that boom jumps you up that leaderboard. Can you get 2, 3, 4? I end up getting 7, but 8, that's a whole percentile point. 9, it's a whole percentile point. It's jumping you thousands of spots on that leaderboard. And so I think as I do the open this year, and I just got a little off balance there, or else I probably would have put together a little bit of a better set there. And then I stop and take a breath and wipe the sweat off me. But in the open this year, I've got to keep that in mind on every movement, but man, especially these ones where people are limited. My legs are probably getting just a little bit far apart there. I think the standard is they have to stay inside your hands. That'll be something that I have to watch. So like that one was probably good. Your heels have to be touching the wall with your body extended at the top of that. So like I just barely kind of got them to hit, and then as they hit and everything extended, I came off. I'll have to watch that also. But I can usually feel that if I'm not getting it. So trying to think if there's anything else on this workout that so there was a tie break. So the tie break is, as you finish the sets of 55 of each of those, you're supposed to write down your time, and then if you don't finish the next set and you tie with somebody on the reps on it, so for instance, the handstand push-ups, everybody who got 7, I finished up at 12:04 with my row, so everybody who finished that row faster than me, they placed higher than me, they beat me on that. So that's how that tie break was set up for this particular workout. So that's my thoughts on the workout. I'm sure I should be probably thinking about other stuff with these workouts, but I'm kind of learning as I go. I'm looking at different stuff. The transition times are the big thing that I've been focusing on, because I know I stop and think about stuff too long. So I have gotten better with that. I wish we had a spot where like we could get the wall balls in the same video with everything else, but that's just not the way we're set up down there. So I don't know what I looked like on those. I'm guessing similar to other times. So not great, not very fast, but we're getting there. We're working at it. I'm excited for the Open this year. I'm finished. So this workout where I finished put me in 5,542nd place out of 24,007 that did the Open that year in my age group, which was about a 77th percentile finish. So fairly high up there. Like I said in past videos, first year in 2022, I was about 7th percentile. Next year, 23, about 15th percentile. Last year in 24, about 29th or 30th percentile. And then these workouts, I've been getting into that 70 plus percentile. I've had some, like last week, I had some that were down in the mid 50s or whatever. But yeah, I'm hoping to kind of double that percentile again this year. The weight loss after the Open last year through the summer really has helped a lot with you're just not moving as much weight and being able to do some of these higher skill movements like the muscle ups and the handstand push-ups. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Try the workout. It's a fun one. Yeah, comment on here. Let me know how you did. Yeah, I'd love to hear from some of you guys, and if you're doing these workouts or what you're doing with nutrition, or if you've got any good sleep tips. Man, this thing tracks the sleep, and I struggle. I should tell you guys some of my sleep scores, but I have sleep scores as low as like in the 60s or maybe down into the 50s sometimes, and like my best ones are like mid 80s. So yeah, I definitely love to hear what you guys are doing for sleep. I don't know what's messing with me. I know I never get enough REM sleep is what it's telling me. And so anyways, yeah, if you guys got any tips, I'd love to hear it. And yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.